Do you ever let a careless remark ruin your entire day? Do you feel exhausted just at the thought of going to a crowded place? You can quickly pick up on subtle shifts in people's expressions, the tone of their voice, or that subtle tension in the air. But all of this awareness leaves you drained by the end of the day. You've probably asked yourself countless times, why am I so sensitive? Why can't I just brush things off like everyone else? People tell you to stop overthinking, toughen up, or just be positive. But you've tried that, and it never really works. You might even start to believe your sensitivity is a flaw, something you need to fix. But today, I want to share an important truth. Sensitivity is not an illness, it's not a weakness, and it's definitely not a character flaw. It's a natural trait, one that only about 15 to 20% of people have. Before we dive into today's video, if you relate to this or often feel overwhelmed by overthinking, consider subscribing and turning on notifications. This channel is here to help you understand your sensitivity and turn it into your greatest strength. In psychology, people who are naturally more sensitive to stimuli are often called HSPs or highly sensitive people. This concept was first introduced in 1996 by American psychologist Dr. Elaine Aron. It's not about being introverted or emotionally unstable. It's a natural temperament. Simply put, an HSP's nervous system is wired to process information more deeply. In 2014, a research team from Stony Brook University used fMRI scans to study the brains of highly sensitive individuals. They found that, when exposed to the same stimuli, the areas responsible for emotional processing, empathy, and awareness showed greater activation compared to others. Let me give you a visual. Inside your brain, there's a small structure called the amygdala that acts like an alarm system. Think of it like an airport security scanner. For most people, this scanner only reacts to obvious threats. Everyday situations don't trigger it. But for highly sensitive people, the sensitivity of this system is much higher. Even subtle cues can set it off. In early human history, this response helped us survive. A small sound in the bushes could signal danger, and reacting quickly meant staying alive. But in modern life, this same system can become a major source of stress. If your partner's tone sounds slightly off, your brain may register it as a threat. A casual comment from family can feel more personal than intended. When a friend doesn't respond right away, it can trigger worry or self-doubt. And here's the key part: when the amygdala is highly activated, the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for logic and regulation, becomes less active. The prefrontal cortex is like the decision maker, helping you stay calm and think clearly. But in stressful moments, it has less influence. That's why you may say things you later regret, or struggle to let things go even when you know you should. It's not about weakness or lack of maturity. It's simply how your brain is wired. So when people tell you to stop overthinking or toughen up, it doesn't really help. It's like trying to use the wrong remote to control the TV. You're not doing it wrong. The method just doesn't match how your system works. Research shows that it's very difficult to control the amygdala through sheer willpower. Just like you can't stop hiccups simply by thinking about it. But here's the key insight. While you can't easily control it with your thoughts, you can influence it through your body. Through the nervous system, your brain is constantly monitoring your physical state. If your body is tense, it interprets that as danger. If your body is relaxed, it interprets that as safety. We may not be able to think our way out of stress, but we can calm our system through physical awareness. And that's the core idea we're using today to turn sensitivity into a strength. Method number 1. The 3-second pause. This is your reset button. When your emotions start to spike, when something triggers you, that sudden drop in your stomach, or rush of emotion, that's your alarm system activating. Don't react immediately, don't suppress it, and don't criticize yourself. Instead, pause for a few seconds. Shift your attention away from your thoughts and into your body. Feel your feet on the ground. Notice the weight of your body in the chair. Pay attention to your breath, rising and falling. Just a few seconds of awareness can make a real difference. When you focus on physical sensations, You activate the calming part of your nervous system. Your heart rate slows, your muscles relax, and your brain begins to register that you're safe. As that happens, the emotional intensity starts to settle. Don't try to force your thoughts to stop. That usually backfires. Simply redirect your attention. Practice this a few times a day when you wake up, during a quiet moment, and before bed. Over time, you'll notice that your reactions become less intense, and small triggers won't pull you into the same emotional spiral. Method number 2, facial relaxation. This is a simple way to reduce anxiety quickly. Have you noticed that when you're stressed, you tend to clench your jaw, tighten your brow, or widen your eyes? Your facial muscles become tense. These subtle changes can reinforce stress signals in your nervous system, making you feel even more on edge. Research suggests that relaxing the face and jaw can help activate the body's natural calming response. So the next time you feel anxiety building, gently relax your face. Let your jaw loosen, soften your eyes, and release the tension in your forehead and cheeks. It might feel unusual at first, and that's okay. This simple shift helps signal to your nervous system that you are safe. With a few days of practice, you'll start to notice your facial tension more quickly, and that awareness is the first step toward calming your response. Method number 3, slowing down. This helps your brain feel safer through your physical actions. Many highly sensitive people tend to move quickly, walking fast, speaking quickly, reacting immediately. This often reflects a body in a constant state of alert. But moving quickly can reinforce that urgency, keeping your system activated. Starting today, try intentionally slowing down your movements. Walk a little slower, reach for things more smoothly, open doors, pour water, and eat with a calmer rhythm. Think of an animal that feels safe. It moves with ease, not urgency. When you slow down, you send a signal to your brain. There's no rush, I'm safe. As your body settles, your mind begins to settle too. Over time, your reactions become more balanced, and you regain a sense of control. And as you become calmer and more grounded, people often respond to you differently. Your presence feels steadier, and that can subtly shift your interactions. Method number 4, setting sensory boundaries. This is a key strategy for highly sensitive people to conserve energy. In crowded environments, most people focus mainly on the person they're talking to, but your brain tends to process much more facial expressions, tone, body language, and the overall atmosphere around you. It's like running multiple programs at once, which naturally drains your energy. That's why it's important to set boundaries around where your attention goes. You don't need to give equal energy to everyone. Save your sensitivity and empathy for the people who truly understand you, respect you, and make you feel at ease. With others, you can stay polite without overextending yourself. You don't have to absorb everything or respond to every signal. It's also okay to limit social situations that consistently leave you feeling drained. Be mindful of how your energy is spent and protect it where you can. When you do that, you'll have more capacity to use your sensitivity in meaningful ways, like building deeper connections and offering genuine support. Method number 5, redirecting your radar. This may be the most important shift of all. Up until now, you've likely been directing your sensitivity toward other people, reading their reactions, their tone, and their behavior. You've been scanning for signs of judgment or rejection in every interaction. It's no surprise that this can make the world feel overwhelming, but this same ability to notice subtle details and process them deeply is actually a powerful strength, and the key is to redirect it. Instead of focusing it entirely on others, start aiming that awareness toward what truly matters to you, your interests, your goals, your creativity, and the work that gives you meaning. When you make that shift, your sensitivity becomes less of a burden and more of a tool for growth, insight, and fulfillment. If you love writing, pour your sensitivity into your words and express subtle, deeply human emotions. If you love art, music, gardening, or science, channel that awareness into something you can fully engage with. This is how many highly sensitive individuals turn their traits into meaningful strengths. Even Abraham Lincoln, who struggled with depression and was often described as emotionally sensitive, used that depth to connect with the suffering of others. His empathy shaped how he led during one of the most difficult periods in history. People like this didn't try to eliminate their sensitivity, they learned how to direct it. They shifted their focus away from constant social scanning and toward purposeful work. Research suggests that while highly sensitive people may be more affected by negative environments, they also tend to respond more strongly to positive ones. When they engage deeply in something meaningful, they often experience greater growth and fulfillment. Studies on the brain also show that consistent mental training, like focused attention or mindfulness, can lead to real changes in areas related to emotion and self-regulation. In other words, your brain is adaptable. When you take the energy you've been spending on draining situations and invest it into something meaningful, your sensitivity begins to work for you, not against you. Over time, what once felt overwhelming can become one of your greatest strengths. I want to say this directly to every highly sensitive person listening. Your sensitivity is not a flaw, it's a powerful trait. You're not something that needs fixing. You're someone who needs understanding and the right environment to thrive. Think of it like a finely tuned instrument. A basic instrument sounds the same no matter what, but a high-quality one responds to every detail, temperature, touch, and environment. In the right conditions, it creates something truly beautiful. That's what your sensitivity is like. It's not a weakness, it's a sign of how deeply you can perceive and feel. You don't need to hide it, fake toughness, or meet everyone else's expectations. You just need to learn how to work with it and direct it in the right way. And when you do, you'll begin to express something that's uniquely yours. Starting today, shift how you see your sensitivity. Instead of fighting it, start working with it. Remember the 5 tools: the 3-second pause, facial relaxation, slowing down, setting boundaries, and redirecting your focus. Step by step, you can turn overwhelming thoughts into clarity and growth. If this video made you feel understood, I'd love to hear your story in the comments. Share a moment when your sensitivity felt difficult, or a moment when it helped you in a meaningful way. This is a space for support, not judgment. And if this message resonated with you, consider subscribing and turning on notifications so you don't miss future videos. Finally, remember this: you're not strange or broken, you're deeply perceptive. And over time, your sensitivity can become one of your greatest strengths.